there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you
welcome back. It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off. It's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Peyton. It's just going to solidify everything for Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
SKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're going to be able to find these shots true.
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an Anvil immediately to back, like fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2, 3, so back and forth. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Console Gaming League, where we are in the NA Open Console tier right here for the mid-season tournament grand finals of the Heroes Party taking on Short Bus. My name is Dextron. That is Soav Donovan. Man, how are you doing, man? I mean, this is a great series we have on our hands tonight.
I was looking forward to this one all night. Heroes Party taking on the Short Bus. Truly one of those matches that will resonate for the rest of the season. When you look at these two teams, both of them, having just really great seasons, and unfortunately Short Bus coming in at the number 1. I mean, no maps dropped in playoffs. They are looking dominant throughout all of this, so this is definitely going to be a great litmus test for the rest of this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Heroes Party as well, not dropping a map so far in this mid-season tournament here, as we will pull up the bracket just to kind of show you the entire thing of this mid-season tournament here so far. I mean, Heroes Party and Short Bus, you see them right there. I mean, they both had really great starts here against YE Snowfall and Sussy Sloss. And then, I mean, Heroes Party, they went up against a really good team in the Sea Demons, one team that I honestly thought would have been potential of being in this grand final spot here, but they absolutely dominated them in that game.
Yeah, it really, you kind of look at this point where we've made the cut to top 4, and you look at these teams, and it was, like you said, almost anybody, given their records, could have really taken this. But for Heroes Party to come through and kind of, show that dominant force, I think really does kind of make them stand out here, especially when you look at this is a team that, came together from a bunch of different places. We have a couple Legion players, we have some TXCGs, we have a couple players from all kinds of different places. So I think it really does speak to their ability to kind of pull it together and win that. But they're not done, because Short Bus is that quite literal final boss in the way for the midseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said it right there, you summed it up perfectly. Short Bus is that final boss. The season 12 console open tier winners right here. Now they're looking to repeat here, but they have to get through the mid-season tournament right now, and they have to start that up against the Heroes Party right here. And now this is a great lineup when you do look at it here. So I mean, it is just talent across the board.
Oh, absolutely. When you look at some of these players that have come through, Galaxy on the Tracer has been just a standout in a world where Tracer is a must-have. And then Easton over on the Lucio in particular, I want to call out, those are going to be 2 of the most important roles. And to have such known, just quality players who they are on their role, they love playing it, this is exactly where they want to be. This is a great core to your team. Add in Complex, who's got a little bit more flexibility in the tank line, and no wonder why they got here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of talked about the 2 people I was going to talk about here, Galaxy and Easton. You see those 2 that they are hovering right now, or at least showing us in this Tracer and Lucio. They've primarily played them so far this entire midseason tournament, especially in their semifinals. You could absolutely guarantee that at some point, every map, you're going to see Galaxy and Easton on that Tracer and Lucio. But the rest of the team, honestly, is a very, very flexible team, as you did talk about. I mean, it was every map, Complex was playing a different tank and making it work. They were playing different tanks in every game, or maybe in between rounds, and making it work. Water is just very flexible on that other DPS as well. Same thing with Smurfing. I mean, this is a great team, but hey, they have to go up against one of the best teams in this entire tier right now in Short Bus. And I mean, if you've been watching CGL for the past 2 seasons, you know everyone on this team. You know how scary a team this is. Akaza, NRG on that DPS line is scary. Necry is absolutely terrifying. And then Vobendo and Ricky, I mean, they have just done such a solid job.
I mean, Ricky in particular is the standout for me here. Like, coming off of Red Team, also with Ryan Guy, like, Red Team historically in CGL has just been, you know, like, after the success of Blue Team, you saw Red Team pop up, and they just led themselves to so much, you know, acclaim on the CGL side. Yeah, Blue Team is kind of the more known entity for the console world, but Red Team absolutely was no slouches. To see them kind of branch off and bring that quality of play to Short Bus, you know, pick up the rest of these players and really, you know, bring that is no joke. It's exactly why they're here.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, these are 2 great teams. One of these teams is going to be handed their first map loss of this entire mid-season tournament here in our first map. But these 2 teams are also still playing for a lot in this thing here. First place winner gets another whole map or another whole series win added onto their record. But second place, I mean, still gets 3 map win points, which is just as valuable in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would almost, in a way, I would almost take the map points, because you can still, you know, play the whole season. And yeah, if you have a middling, you know, if you kind of go middling in the rest of the second half here, those 3 map differential points can really save you from, you know, falling out, even maybe getting into a mid spot. So yeah, you'd love to have the win, but if you're a dominant team like this, you know, I don't know that you're so worried about that. So, you know, you're happy you're here, you're going to take that, but I almost kind of value, like I said, I almost kind of value the map differential points in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking about map differentials, why don't we show you what our first map of the night will be for this grand finals? And Soab, I mean, it's Lijiang Tower. I feel like this is the perfect map to start our grand finals on.
Oh yeah, what else is there to say about this place? Like, this is where everybody loves to go. It's basically the most scrimmed. Like, I don't even competitively play. I know this is the most scrimmed control map. So I think this is going to be the most interesting look as the start of this, right? Because everybody scrims this. Everybody knows exactly what they want to do and what they should be doing here. You know, we are a far cry away from the Symmetra teleporters. Some teams still try to do that and try to take those advantages, but realistically, in a, you know, a dive world that we're in with like Tracer Sojourn, you're not going to see those kinds of cute tricks. So realistically, you know, the change of the meta over the years is going to be really important to how you adapt it here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always talk about when we go into Lijiang Tower, you can play a whole bunch of different compositions on every map. I feel like that's why you yourself even said it. It's a very scrimmed map for that reason. You can just play whatever you want on every individual point and find success on it here. I mean, and with the flexibility that we have seen from the Heroes Party, I feel like this is kind of in their wheelhouse.
I would have to agree with you in that. When you look at, you know, the flexibility of the lineups, you know, they are the smaller, tighter knit team, and yeah, Short Bus maybe has some more of the talent, but they also have a deeper roster, you know, and that might affect how they play here realistically. When you look at things like, you know, Ryan Guy, who's sitting on the bench, loves to play Reinhardt. Reinhardt hasn't unfortunately been good. You know, how many players are you really necessarily getting the value of to have a deep bench versus, you know, we love to talk about this question, right? Because this is like the age-old question of Overwatch. Is it better to have a core 5 that plays or a deeper bench that can sub and flex? And I mean, you know, we never really find the answer, but I think at this level in the open division, you know, I think we're going to see a little bit more of a clarity in that answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought it up there. Both these teams do have a couple subs that we could see out throughout the night. Short Bus does have more than Heroes Party. And, you know, we have seen the subs come in the past for Short Bus, but I feel like throughout this entire midseason tournament here, it's been this core 5 of NRG, Dinks, Ricky, Vobendo, and Mimic for them. But at the moment right now, from what I can see, Mimic is not actually going to be starting for them. It's going to be Smurfy X.
It's going to be Smurfy, and that makes me think about a couple of things here. You know, was Mimic simply not available? Sometimes that happens. It's why you have subs, right? But the other question is maybe there's something they've been changing. It's pretty strong. Lucio Kiriko, as if you've been watching most of the higher tier, especially like open like this, you kind of know it's Lucio Kiriko. So I'm wondering if maybe, is this something they've been planning all along? Is this like a flex player that they're looking for, maybe for control? Because that happens a lot too, right? You bring in sometimes players for particular map styles, particularly control point or flashpoint. So like, interesting. We're going to have to see, because like you said, does bringing in, someone to fill in that core 5 really make a difference for a team like Short Bus?
Yeah, and I talked to you about this before we went live. I thought that the most interesting battle was going to be Galaxy and Mimic on that Tracer duel. They mostly played Tracers in the entire semifinal match here, but with Mimic not starting out here and Smurfy X coming in, I mean, I know how great of a player Smurfy X is. We've had the entirety of last season to see how good of a player they were here. But I have to wonder, who is gonna come out on the Tracer here, Smurfy or NRG? NRG was a deadeye when it came to those hit scan players yesterday.
Yeah, you'd really rather leave that on Sojourn, I think, Dex. Like, you kind of would prefer your Sojourn player just to be able to focus on hitting those rails and making sure you clean up those shots, get that burst damage value. The fact that it's SmurfX coming in kind of makes me think like maybe we're testing the waters for Tracer. Maybe Mimic just wasn't available. This is one of those sometimes, at this point in the game, it's kind of, settle your matches and let's just go. So now you got me wondering, Dex, like, I'm going to be keeping a tight eye on them, because SmurfX might be the difference between Short Bus, not only taking their first map, but maybe also having a bit of a stumble here in the finals.
Don't put too much. Don't listen to what I say too much. Sometimes I'm wrong. I mean, we can look back at yesterday for that. But I mean, we talked about Short Bus here at a little bit of length here. I mean, they are a great team, but this Heroes Party team, I mean, the first time I saw them was this mid-season tournament here, and they really, really impressed me. And the fact that they were able to 3-0 Sea Demons, a team that really impressed me last Friday in that Friday night Overwatch game. I mean, it just kind of shocked me. Like I said, when we were talking about that one earlier, I thought the Sea Demons were going to put up a little bit more of a fight there, but Heroes Party absolutely just shut it down.
I mean, look, you can stay in the party, Dex. I'm just going to keep riding the Short Bus, because I know it. Like, I've seen this. Like, Short Bus is that team that has come together. You don't take talent like Red Team and just let them be like, oh yeah, just go pick and make your own team. Just go build whoever you want. Find your super team. You don't let a team like that just go do that. You don't let those kinds of players go off, because they will find it. They'll go find the talent that's hidden or has worked their way up through the ranks. So as much as look, I love you, Dex, and I like Heroes Party as a team. They're all really strong players. But I do have to. I'm going to throw myself on the Short Bus here. I think, especially with Smurfx pulling out a Genji, that is a different look here. That is something that you may not expect if you're Heroes Party. You're wondering, like, you're going to see the Cassidy. You know that those hit range are going to be there, but that's a super flexible character in the Genji. So now looking with that with the ball, this is so dive intensive. Show me the Moira for Short Bus. All right. That was 4 out of 5. It's not bad. Heroes Party, they're going to play a little bit more defensively, bringing in the Baptiste and the Cassidy. And I think this is the right call if you're expecting Short Bus to play more aggressive comps like this ball comp. You're going to play to just kind of counter the dive.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just going to say this one thing here. I just want to talk about Heroes Party because we talked about Short Bus there for a little bit. I'm not saying I'm picking them to win here tonight. I just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation right there. But the hindrance coming out there on the dinks early as they try to roll through. Galaxy has to blink themselves away from that fish pond right there to make sure they don't die. Dinks now trying to pressure out the rest of Heroes Party right there as Complex just sitting here on point. Dinks incredibly low, has to fall just outside the point, just get healed up there by Ricky and Bobendo. But right now, Complex getting it healed up by Smurfing right there. I mean, you see Smurfing slowly building up to this Amix right now, but it's going to be water finding NRG. That Tracer out early is normally a sign bad things to come if you're that team. And right now, you're losing your other DPS. Yeah, you pretty much have to give this point over to the Heroes Party.
Yeah, and like you said, the flexibility of Heroes Party, I think, is so much about this. This is such a flexible comp that they read the counter dive. They read to play counter dive early, and that's rewarding them now. They're holding onto a pulse bomb. They have Deadeye. They have a window. So many tools to help zone out the space and continue to maintain control of the point. They just need to secure a pick with all of this value and not overcommit.
The spike comes down there from Dinks. Murphy gonna be able to find water. Huge pick off for them here in the fight. They need to kind of come back in Complex though. Gonna be able to take care of Ricky. The damage coming out from Smurfing as well as the Immortality Field. Smurfy and Bovendo gonna be taken out there. NRG gonna be able to find Easton. Smurfing taken out this one by Dinks. Heroes Party, though, still holding on to the point right now. Complex and Galaxy doing a good job just holding on to it.
I mean, that was the best case. You got it for, what, an Amp Matrix? That's pretty good. Short Bus is coming into their own now, and I mean, that's an easy pulse bomb to be followed up on.
But there's no follow-up there from Heroes Party as Water and Galaxy both end up dying there. Complex, yeah, they have this bomb ready to go here, but I don't think
they give it
here, but they invest into it, and they're not going to be able to get the remake right there, and you just see the rest of Heroes Party fall back because of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure on that. You would have liked to save it. It would have been a great tool for the next fight, especially knowing that you don't have your sound barrier up, and Short Bus has to be coming into something. You haven't seen Blade, you haven't seen Mines, you haven't seen their sound barrier. You know you're playing behind Heroes Party. Just take a dry fight, get some ultimates out, and just try to survive as long as you can.
Well, speaking of the minefield, it comes out right there. Smurfy getting very aggressive here. Here comes the Blade. The beat also out as well. Immortality field gone. Dinks takes care of one. Smurfy now slicing and dicing their way through. The team going to be able to find water, but that's going to be all they get. But that's all they're going to need in this engagement as Heroes Party already trying to fall back.
Great read from Smurfx there. Already just knew that, you know, Lamp's out. I can already call Blade. Somebody else on my team has got that. So a great read. It was 2 ultimates invested, and you're still happy with that. You have Kitsune Rush. You have a Pulse Bomb. That's plenty enough to keep your ults cycling. Heroes Party, they did manage to hold into Sound Barrier, though, so a longer fight favors them as long as Easton doesn't just get beat. He doesn't beef it. If he doesn't beef it here, they can survive a longer fight.
Kitsune Rush coming out here, going to be countered out by the beat from Easton. Water going to be able to find Ricky. A great pick off here for Heroes Party. The Immortality field going to make sure that Pulse Bomb finds nothing there as Galaxy takes care of Bobindo. No supports on the side of Short Buzz right now. Smurfy, though, going to take care of Smurfing right there. NRG wins the Tracer duel, but Heroes Party retakes a point through all that here. The DMEC on the complex, very far away from a bomb. And I'm honestly surprised they're not just throwing themselves off the map right here. They're going to allow Smurfy, though, to just build off them.
They did flip point, so, I mean, I guess your idea is let's just stall it out. But that's the third fight you've lost if you're Heroes Party, and you've committed into that. So, you know, your tools you have here, you're coming into 4 ultimates, and you know there's no sound barrier. Easton gets a pick, and that has to be a go. You have 5. You have to move on to this ASAP.
Yeah, you saw the go there from Heroes Party. 2 of the members, and oh no, Easton gets booped
Come
off the map,
on.
but Easton boops right back there. That was a very interesting place for that Amp Matrix. If you saw there, I think Smurfing threw it into the center pylon, but hey, they have control of the point. Pulse Bomb gonna come out there, not gonna be able to land on anyone. Doesn't force out the Suzu as well. You see Complex dive back in there, but they're gonna peel back out as Dinks comes right back in. The spike down there, gonna be able to get them to that minefield here, but Heroes Party now gonna be able to take the lead.
Oh, the boop.
Again, Dig's gonna be able to find Galaxy. Smurfing out now. The beat from Ricky. The bomb though from Complex, and they're not gonna be able to get into the mech for the second straight time. Easton though just gets stalled out here to 95.
It's you know, this was a good hold as best as you could, but now in last fight, I mean, you have nothing. You have Water's High Noon and nothing to pair for it. You're going to Kiriko here for speed. I mean, it's a lot of pressure onto Water to try to find some value, especially knowing what's across from them. Setting up Water for success is their only chance to make this work.
Blade gonna come out here from Smurfy. Already takes care of Smurfing right there. The High Noon from Water, not gonna be able to find anyone as they had to cancel Albert right there. Galaxy though trying to keep their team alive in this one here, but it's just Tracer and this Diva. Diva though able to eat the Pulse Bomb right there. Needs some support for the rest of their team. Galaxy taken out of this one here, and now it's all up to Complex, who gets D-mech'd right here, and D-Life. Short Bus gonna be able to take this first point here.
I really did like the initial, like, I think you said it, like, the flexibility of Heroes Party was a great start to this. I really liked what they were trying to do in the, like, counter dive scenario. They know Short Bus knows how to play this. They're in their preferred heroes, and I mean, it just makes the most sense, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's going to work how it is. They're going to even try to bring on some different pieces to really try to farm this ball. And yeah, I don't disagree with it. They're going to probably be shocked to see the Doomfist, maybe. But most of the same pieces that, you know, of hacking it, you know, just stunning it, trying to get the tank in control and counter the disruption is important here. But now, as we come to the center, I mean, again, Galaxy on the Symmetra could stay. This is the old trick here. Get there first, plant your sim and go. Short Bus going into a full Rhine comp, though, is not anything I could have predicted.
I don't think it's anything anyone would predict at this moment. I mean, Rhine is probably, you know, bad, really bad spot right now, but it might be able to catch Heroes Party off guard here, and Smurfy gonna be able to find Water now on this Reaper, and just look at what they're doing.
Wow.
They're pushing them back here. This Rhine is finding the value.
Wow, Ryan Guy's coaching really did a lot of work, is my guess on the back end there. I think this, but it speaks to short bus in a lot of ways, right? This is not the thing you scrim against. This is not what's meta, and when you come in with a unique comp like this death ball, essentially, it does a lot. Now, Heroes Party going to swap. They're going to bring in the Queen to try to counter it.
Suzu going to be used there early by Smurfing and trying to get the team out of this one here. Vobendo, Ricky so low on health, but they're going to be able to get themselves out of the danger here now. Heroes Party just looking for any opening they can right now. Complex will throw the knife there, swing the axe. Dinks gets so low, but the healing just enough to keep them alive right here. Waterloo will find energy, so they don't have to worry about anyone blinking in their backline here. And look what that does there to Heroes Party. They decide to get a little bit more aggressive, and that aggression will work out for a team kill and a point.
Yeah. There you go. I love the space control adaptation. You bring in the Sojourn with her field to try to cut off angles to deny the Rhine space. Queen just naturally just forces Rhine to take fights and to consider, can I be greedy? Can I swing on this? I love that. Now going into this retake though, Short Bus still behind. Ricky is already almost 10 behind on the sound barrier. So Heroes Party, if they build it quicker, they could win.
Short arming the pulse bomb there from NRG. The lesson coming out here from Vobendo, just really focusing on keeping up their tank right there, but they will find Complex. Water though immediately gonna trade it out, and Water, I think they slid a little bit too far off the map right there. Smurfy X will be able to get the kill here, and eventually Short Busted all that will take the point back.
Yeah, I thought for the cost of a Coalescence and a Pulse Bomb, and those are your two fastest charging ults, so you'll get those quick. You have Shatter, you have Death Blossom, like, you're in a great spot. You'll come into your sound barrier. All the tools for Short Bus to get a hold at this door, and you're holding this aggressive angle to keep Ryan in covered and healed. I love this. This is a great look from Short Bus.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just surprised at how well this Ryan has been working for them right now. Fire Strike's coming out there from Dinks. Like I said, they have the Shatter ready to go. There finds the Soldier and the Reap and the Lucio there, but now the Reaper of Smurfy finding two with the Death Bumps, and Smurfy gonna get taken out there as well. But Heroes Party, through all this, gonna be so close to capping the point, but Complex just gonna send themselves off the map there. Ricky will get the kill. Energy?
Okay.
Energy?
Sure. I mean, you'll take the fast reset, I guess. A little bit. I'm not sure about really going to push that. We're going to bring in Ramatra, and it feels like Heroes Party is just searching for an answer now. You have 3 ultimates plus a Ramatra. Try to get a slow. You have the answers in pocket. You know there's no sound barrier. You should be able to flip here.
And Dinks, interesting play there.
Good play.
My feeling is they know this is not necessarily a fight they're going to necessarily win here, especially with Heroes Party investing that continued rush there, but NRG keeping this fight alive for their team right now, picking up 2 kills. Easton has 2 kills of their own. Galaxy trying to get their name in that kill feed. Will get the pulse bomb stick onto Vobendo, but still Heroes Party yet to cap the point. They finally do there, and yeah, look, Dinks going over to the Doomfist now.
Ricky swings this back though, so there's still pressure here. I'm not sold. That felt like a little bit of an overinvestment in some parts of Heroes Party. Yeah, you need to win, but the pulse bomb felt like it could have been saved. Especially with Short Bus having Coalescence and a pulse of their own.
NRG, they're going to be able to take care of Smurfing. Here comes the Coalescence right now. 3 members of the party are down and out. Make it for a Short Bus. Retakes the point and will take the map off that right there.
Yeah, I just don't think for all the flexibility that Heroes Party and preparation they had, I don't know if they were ready for this. I don't think any of us were ready for this, honestly. They showed us a couple looks that, one we expected and one we definitely didn't. And Water absolutely had a phenomenal game, but unfortunately it takes a lot more for a hit scan to find a lot of value like that. I mean, Short Bus's composition, so unorthodox, but at the same time, Dex, it clearly looked like something they had known. It looked like they had something they'd worked up in scrims. It looked very fluid for them. They knew exactly what to do. Yeah, you're it's kind of goofy to see, Dippy flip around like that on the Rhine, but it is the right read. Like, you do have to you have to find your way to protect yourself. That that level of knowing what your comp needs to do in those moments, even if it's a little bit unorthodox. Yeah, that's the Short Bus advantage, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, you can kind of tell they were just saying, okay, we're not going to win this fight. They expected Heroes Party to invest ultimates in, which they did. And once that happened, I mean, they accepted death with wide open arms. They come back out on the Doomfist and really do help their team come right back in, take the point, win a fight, and end the map right there. I mean, we talked about the flexibility from Heroes Party coming in this map. We're starting to see a little bit of flexibility from Short Bus, who, in my opinion, I went back and watched their semifinal game. Yeah, they were able to play 3 different comps on the 3 maps they played, but they normally stuck with whatever comp they came out with.
I mean, yeah, because that's a rehearsed team, though, right? That's a rehearsed team that understands what they want to do in the current moments. You don't necessarily play that second sub point like that. You know you can play the Rhine like that. We used to play the Rhine like that in previous metas, and when they said, look, we've scrimmed this, we understand how to work in this, and we know this comp strengths and weaknesses, we've watched the tape, yeah, they're gonna do it, and I can't blame them, especially when they feel so confident in it. This short bus squad clearly is firing on all cylinders between the communication of, just knowing and alt tracking, knowing when and where they need to be. It shows that this team has put in the work, and that's what it takes to get you to the midseason finals.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that first point was really close, back and forth. But
Yeah.
you said it there again, just alt tracking, knowing what they have to do really won them that first point. Then that second point, it just seemed like coming out on the Reinhardt was a complete left curve that Heroes Party never necessarily understood or really got a good grasp on how to shut it down. And the moment they did, I mean, you kind of saw it there.
Yeah.
Short Bus immediately knew, like, okay, we're going to make some swaps, come right back out and end this here. A great start there for Short Bus, showing us they have some flexibility as well. But now, I mean, one map down, this is a first to 3 series here. I mean, Short Bus, they look prime right now.
Yeah, and especially with a win like that, you have to be feeling yourself. It is, unfortunately, though, not their pick, so they'll have to settle for whatever side they want to start on. Just waiting for Heroes Party to decide where we're traveling to next in the journey for the mid-season crown. And I mean, like you said, it's hard to really deny how Short Bus look so prepared after all of this. And like you said, having a comfortable array of teams, being able to play that variety of heroes, just so important across this season too. When you look at how quickly the game's patching now, how quickly are the hotfixes coming in, what's meta, what was less than 2 months ago we were playing Zen Lucio. Like, you have to be flexible, you have to be able to pick it up at that high level, and Short Bus are showing us that they can hang with the Heroes Party there in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do know we will be heading to a hybrid map next. The map pool, Numbani, Eichenwald, Blizzard World, and Midtown here. This is the Heroes Party selection here. From what we saw on that first map, which one of those maps do you think the Heroes Party would normally kind of lean towards here?
I feel like if you're trying to avoid the strengths, from what you saw in map 1, like, it's really hard to tell. Are they gonna, is that Reinhardt gonna last more than just that 1 point? I think might be something you could gamble on. And I think maybe something that's flatter that gives you a little bit more advantage, like Midtown, lets you play the Junker Queen, lets you play that Ramatra comp that you showed and found some moderate success on out the gate. I kind of think you want to avoid Nimbani and Blizzard World just because how high ground dependent it is, and you saw how good that dive comp was. So I also just like Midtown, so I mean, say what you will about that. But I think Midtown, maybe Eichenwald is their best shot, but I'm kind of pressing for Midtown if you ask me.
It is gonna be
let's go!
Here. It is going to be Midtown here. So it looks like Heroes Party going to bring us to Midtown. Like you said, there's a reason they're picking this here. But Short Bus is actually going to be making a change here. Not necessarily a sub. They're making a change. Dinks and Smurfy X are going to be swapping roles for this second map here. And again, a team that is showing us some flexibility with roles now.
I mean, it has to be... So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, well, Dinks was playing Dive. He played the Reinhardt. That tells me absolutely nothing about his hero pools. Murphex was playing Genji and played Reaper. It tells me almost next to nothing in a lot of regards. Like, it tells me it's an aggressive. So my guess is Murphex is coming over to try to play an aggressive tank in that regard. That's kind of the thing I said. You saw the Maga there. I actually wouldn't be shocked if we saw Maga with how, DPSy and tanky he can be with no fear with a Maga. I actually wouldn't be shocked if that's their plan going into this second map. Let's put one of our DPS players. Let's swap it up here, give them a little bit of a chance to flex onto more aggressive tanks, Maga, Zarya, things like that. But I think the other thing it does is it keeps Heroes Party guessing, right? If you see that there's swaps coming in across the board, but you don't really know what to expect, what good is your tape that you were watching?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, we did see Short Buzz actually play the Malga in their semifinals match, but again, it wasn't Smurfy X on it. It was Dinks. So again, I think this is just playing into the mind games here a little bit with these two teams. Do we see the Malga come out, or do we just see potentially, you know, a Ramattra, some like normal kind of pick here, one that you would expect, just trying to, like I said, get into the head of Heroes Party here?
I think it feels like it in a lot of ways, although they did lock Winston. They locked a Winston dive, and I don't hate that. Sometimes ball players, like, there is a fine tuning between like playing Doomfist, playing Winston, and playing ball, right? They are different tanks in a lot of different ways. Winston gets to be a little bit more defensive, is a little bit crunchier than ball and Doomfist. So someone who doesn't play as aggressive, or someone who knows, you know, that they're going to be followed up in a particularly different way, yeah, that's why you change tanks. So I can see that. Energy picking up the Tracer, though, is interesting. It could also be because maybe you feel like Galaxy is going to be playing Tracer and you need to match that, and Smurfix might not be their best case. Heroes Party is going to show us, as I say, they're not going to show us the double flex. They're going to show us the kind of safer Diva dive that they were playing, and I do think so. I think they just need to protect Water and let Water have those angles to open up this first point. If they can keep Water in the face and shooting and bursting down, they can take this point.
Yeah, but keeping Water alive, you need to also keep your supports alive right there. And look what that does to Heroes Party. They immediately just have to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, that is... the Baptiste is an interesting choice here. I understand we're playing for Lamp more than likely because this team is not staying together, realistically. I still kind of think we should be running the Kiriko in that regard. It gives you the same kind of benefit of Suzu that you want from Lamp, but you also get a little more damage in those headshots.
This Tracer duel right here is getting very, very close. Galaxy has to use the recall to get some health back here. The TP coming out from Vomendo to keep NRG alive. And now again, here comes the second dive in from Smurfy X. And really no one on Heroes Party paying him a lot of attention. They're trying to find everyone else here right now. NRG has to blink themselves away from everyone right now. Heroes Party, I mean, a minute is gone, and this is the farthest they've gone yet. Another dive coming out here. NRG Smurfy going to be able to take care of two right there. And Easton's in a really, really bad spot. Complex, though. I mean, if you get out now and regroup with your team, you're going to have a quick fight here.
Yeah, you might be able to beat the Winston back if you hurry, but I think Energy's not about to let that happen. It's why you want the Winston, though, is because it's going to allow you to give every single person a target to move into. It's a full committed dive for Short Bus, and Heroes Party, you have too many people that you have to try to defend to cover and avoid each of these dives. You know, Baptiste is such an easy target for a full 5 dive here, and now they're going to try from the high ground, try any sort of different way to approach here.
Galaxy, though, finding energy. EMP going to come out and get on the both the supports there for Heroes Party. And both those supports immediately taken off of the field there. Dinks with a huge EMP. Smurfy will find Water. Complex still finding Dinks. But this fight is already over. And Smurfy investing the Primal Rage?
I mean, yeah, you're going to try to chase this down and maybe push a little further. You're not too upset about that. Like, you don't have anything to pair with it, so it's fine. You might have wanted it for a longer fight. But you're feeling confident, especially with Sound Barrier and Kitsune Rush here.
Speaking of Sound Barrier, comes out there from Ricky. Now Easton gonna pop their own. Their Pulse Bomb coming out from Galaxy will not land onto anyone. NRG gonna throw theirs out, not land on anyone as well as Murphy Exo. First one taken out of this fight here as the Heroes Party finally touched the point right there. Water with 2 kills already, looking for a third party. Gonna be able to get a tick right now. I mean, Water right now is trying to find wherever Dinks is, but Dinks seems nowhere to be found.
No, I mean, Dinks is going to get out of dodge, and that's fine. Water did exactly what they needed to, and Heroes Party did what they needed to. They needed to enable Water to find those headshots, and those rails, those 2 opening rails did it. That was exactly enough. They didn't have to commit any more ults in the Sound Barrier, and they're rewarded now because they have 3, including, you know, an Ant Matrix, and there's their late Dinks. There you go. Just for you, Dex. They got it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were talking about that, and I just see the virus get stuck onto Water, and them just immediately 180 and see Dinks running away there. But hey, you saw Galaxy pick them in a really early pick there onto Ricky. That is a great thing for them here, especially as they want to get a lot of free card push right now. But NRG going to be able to shut down Galaxy right there and do a little bit of tactical crouching there just to pour some salt in the wound.
I mean, we wondered what energy was going to bring, but they're bringing that big Tracer energy into it. Almost burns down and gets Immortality Field. Finally gets punished for it, and that may be the opening Hero Party's need. Now with a 4v5, this lines up in their favor with the high ground now.
Suzu being used at the perfect time there from Bovendo to keep them alive, or else that railgun shot from water would have been able to take them out here. But I mean, Heroes Party in a really good spot right now. 4 ultimates to their name. Short Bus about to come up on 3. I mean, if you play this fight smartly here, if you're Heroes Party, you should be able to win it and get the second point here. But now, Kitsune Rush coming out here from Bovendo Water. First one taken out, and now you just see the dive here from everyone else on the Short Bus from onto Heroes Party as Energy takes care of a second one. Smurfy takes care of Easton, and the rest of Heroes Party backing out.
I mean, it was just clinical. You saw the dive come in, and you could see Easton getting pressured out, which forced everybody on the Heroes Party side to have to backtrack. And, you know, hey, you mentioned the 4 ult advantage. It didn't do them a lot of good, and now Dinks has an EMP up. If they hit the supports again, it's over. That's what happened. You know, they hit both of them, and it's over.
And hit the supports and hit Complex right there as well. Easton, the first one taken out. Immortality will be invested in here, but Smurfing will follow them to the grave by a fist from Smurfy X here. Smurfy X is trying to throw hands, find anyone they can. Energy going to be able to help them find water here. And then a hand of their own will be sending Galaxy back to the spawn.
Respect to Heroes Party, though, they acknowledged it was over on EMP and held the ults. So they go into this with just a toolbox of advantages here. They just need to not squander it because Ricky does have only a single sound barrier. It's going to get pulled out once. They need to get sound barrier out before they do anything else, and then they can win.
Pulse ball from Energy will whiff onto everyone right there. B coming out here from Ricky as everyone on Short Bus wants to play aggressive right now. Overclock coming out here from Water. They have to try to find someone here. Smurfing.
No
almost
shot.
Going to be able to keep themselves alive. They will not be able to. Water going to be able to shut down NRG here. Bomb now coming out from Complex as they use it to remech here. Bobendo finding Galaxy, and kills just going back and forth each way right now. But the Heroes Party, they're just being backed up into their own spawn.
I mean, they'll finally punish Smurfix, and this is it. You know, now you're going to finally get the space. It cost you 3 ultimates, and you still aren't. You're still letting stragglers get away. The coordination from Short Bus just looks a little bit cleaner. Heroes Party, though, finally getting it together, and now that Water has control of this high ground while the cart moves below it, I think they should be able to close this out. You know, between that and the sound barrier, they know there's no sound barrier across from them. They just need to be able to hold this high ground, get Water in a position to make a pick, and they should be able to close this out.
And they know there's no sound barrier having the side of Short Bus right now because Ricky going over to the honor right there. The dive a little bit too late as I think Smurfy hit their head on the door as they were trying to dive in. Easton uses the beat into that fight, which they really didn't need to. But now, I mean, they're going aggressive. Complex finds 2 right there. Energy will find Smurfing in that backline. Same thing with Smurfy right there, finding Easton. And now, again, kills just going back and forth. But it does seem like Heroes Party is going to be able to come out on top here.
They will for now. Again, they had the ult advantage. Short Bus already also knows there's no reason to take this fight here. They already lost what they were trying to hold off, so especially behind an ult, no reason to go forward there. But they are coming into the wealth of theirs. 4 up for Short Bus now means that they should lead here with no sound barrier across from them. Again, I'm watching Dinks for an EMP because every time Dinks has hit an EMP, it's just been an easy fight win.
Yeah, Dinks' EMPs have just been great so far. It's hit both the supports, the entire support line for Short Bus the 2 times they have used it here, but they get caught out there by Galaxy, have to throw that translocator up there to make sure they get away here. But now 60 seconds on the clock, we're going to be able to find energy to get everything going here. However, Heroes Party, they're finding these picks, but I mean, no one's really playing card right now. Instead, they want to find Dinks. They're going to be able to, but at the cost of their own Kiriko right here. And finally, Galaxy decides to go play cart. Suzu being invested here by Bobendo to keep themselves alive. I mean, one good kunai to the head will be able to find Galaxy there, but they're not going to be able to. Smurfy, though, all the way in the back line, going to be able to find Water.
I mean, Water has been a tough point, and Galaxy finally coming to life and winning the Tracer duel. I love this. Now they're playing forward. They're getting the information. They're able to pass this along. We're going to look for the stick there. They know if they can stick Bobendo, probably, that this works. Dinks is still holding on to this EMP, and in last fight, this is as good as a win con. If they hits the Kiriko, it's over.
EMP on the ready, looking for wherever they can. They're going to get booped out of the way, come back down to earth, use that EMP. It hits the Kiriko, but Complex able to find Dinks with that Kitsune Rush. Now going to come out from both Kirikos here, trying to just find whatever advantage they can right now. Overtime has commenced. Both tanks going after each other here. Wow, this is actually a back and forth fight. Really, it's energy though. Coming out on the Widowmaker, going to be able to find Galaxy there. They now have their sights set on the Water, who has the overclock ready to go. Popping it here, but it's going to be shut down by the Widow. Eyes set there on Smurfy. Not going to be able to find the bomb coming out there from Complex. Going to be able to find NRG.
Oh, they stepped!
Did they see 9?
They see 9. That's a shame. I got.
What the hell?
Look.
The last three casts I've been a part of, I've seen C9s.
Dex, I don't think we're allowed to put you in the booth anymore. We can't be having these teams C9 like this. I get it. We were playing up. We're trying to do that. I think the Devo was expected to be the last one to touch there, but she got picked as she was bombing, and I don't think there was everybody else was trying to play up to stop it. So, well, at least you know, like, call it a completion. You got there if you're Heroes Party. Like, you know where you got to stop it. You're probably a little bit disheartened and annoyed at that, but it could be much worse. At least you made it that far. You know, if you had looked back in time and you saw how difficult that was to even crack through this first capture point segment, it would have been rougher. But Shortbus going to show us a different look here that I'm going to ignore until I see anything else, because I don't believe they're coming on double flyers with a Junker Queen in this meta. Heroes Party going to default onto what they feel is correct, though, what they feel is right and what they practiced. And yeah, at this point in the game, it makes the most sense. The counter dive that you were expecting, though, you might be able to play a little bit, but Complex has been playing well defensively, and I love this. There we go. Now we're seeing the Junker Queen. It's going to be the rush out of Shortbus here. Dink's probably going to stay on this Widowmaker for an opening shot or two. They're feeling themselves after we saw the Widow shots, and I think this makes sense. But this is a good, aggressive, high-damage team out of Shortbus. Double speed means you can get onto somebody, and once you get 4 of those members onto somebody, it's that they're dead.
And they're also allowing Dinks just to get kind of set up right here in a good spot where no one for Heroes Party is really going to dive onto them by themselves here. I mean, if Dinks can find a headshot, it won't kill, but it will get someone certainly low here. NRG, though, this can go straight to point. I mean, if the Heroes Party is not going to play them, I mean, this might be a free tick.
Oh, my goodness. No, no. Come on.
Guys.
Come on.
I mean, NRG is still staying on point here. They've got 2 ticks on their own. And now
finally, okay.
Complex go to the point, but they get demaxed immediately here. Smurfy going to be able to take care of them. Finally, you see Shortbus get off the point, but they're just looking to end this fight here. And, I mean, they're going to be able to. And
it's over.
That was not the play there for Heroes Party.
It was the perfect read from Shortbus. It's the classic blunder of just send a tracer to the point and force the issue of, look, you either have to defend point and split the party, or you have to, stay and fight the 4v5 and try to push the advantage while we cap. And Dinks again just and this is it. This is a 1-4 split. Dinks just gets to sit back and just try to farm headshots while Shortbus threaten to run on them. And I mean, I think it sounds like, it feels like Heroes Party just doesn't quite know what to expect. They weren't looking for this.
No, they weren't at all. I mean, but right now, Dinks, kind of like if they were on the first point, in a good spot where no one's really going to focus in on them.
Great
but as
kunai.
I say that, Smurfing gets the double kunai headshot right there. You see the dive come out here onto Smurfy X, and it seems like the Heroes Party going to be able to win this team fight here and slow down Shortbus for a moment.
Good. I mean, I'm glad they were able to do that. Dinks really can't continue to get away with this, and now that there's just, every single pick now is just a longer stagger to buy some more time, especially when there's 4 minutes on the clock. I mean, neither Lucio having sound barrier is a little concerning. I mean, I'm watching for Smurfing's Kitsune Rush here. It's really the difference maker, because versus Coalescence, yeah, it's a little bit more damage and healing, but it's really not enough when twice the speed of the entire enemy team is coming at you. So if Smurfing holds on and gets this Kitsune Rush in a good position, they can... They've just been rolling this whole time. They've just been rolling the cart this whole time, really.
Yeah, but Vydra coming out here from Dinks. Now the Rampage going to come out, hit onto 3, going to be able to cleanse 2 of them right there as Water pops the overclock. Going to be able to find 1, make it to the support line out here. 3 for Water. Can they find the 4th? They have them in their sights, but Dinks looking for their own. Going to be able to find Water. They will be traded out, but that is just a kill that makes you feel good if you're Dinks.
Ooh, yeah, that's something. I mean, that was a good shutdown, and Water was, again, this is my thing for Heroes Party. If you can just enable Water to find, go and contest it, they can shoot, and it's forcing Shortbus now to give it up. Dinks is going to pick up the Cassidy, and it's you can't, you're not contesting Water at the long range here. I mean, Ricky's still behind in sound barrier, and that concerns me for Shortbus. They're going to have to win on aggression alone here, and they have to get past East and sound barrier first.
Smurfing, though, not going to be able to get any of that sound barrier right there, but it won't matter as everyone else here for Heroes Party is just picking up kills right now. They're going to be able to get NRG. Bobendo, I would use that fade to get out, man.
Yeah, no point to be there. The good thing for Heroes Party is that there is no, death denier here. There's no Lamp, there's no Suzu. It's really just all in on healing and keeping this team aggressing onto somebody. So as long as Hero Party can keep catching Short Bus off guard, they'll win. In the neutral, with Ricky having Sound Barrier, they need to do it quick because Long Fight now favors Short Bus with that bonus coming in.
And speaking of it, the BK being bested here early, look at what it does to Heroes Party. Complex immediately peels back out here, but it looks like the support line or the DPS line for Heroes Party up on that high ground here. And Cart, guys, you finally see the touch come out there from Complex and Galaxy. The rest of Heroes Party going to be following them here momentarily. You see one support get taken out for each side, but now everything going Short Bus's way as they will clean up this fight and cap point B.
This bus don't stop, Dex. Whether it just goes uncontested or they have to fight for it, the bus don't stop. I mean, they're going into now point 3 with 3.5 minutes, and they now have a win con. They know where they need to get to stop. So this Pulse Bomb could just decide the next little bit. It's not going to get them all the way to the end here, but if Energy hits this Pulse Bomb, they definitely buy the most difficult corner. And now, and Galaxy is the only one with a Pulse Bomb across from them. It's going to come down to these tracers right now. Whoever finds the most value with this bomb is going to decide the winner.
Well, NRG didn't find anything with that bomb right there. Galaxy going to be able to throw theirs and not find anything as well. So both pulse bombs come out and are pretty mute. Don't really affect the match that much. But Water's been affecting this match pretty much this entire map right here. Finding Smurfy X. And now Short Bus backing out without that pressure from the Jump Queen. Galaxy Complex finding too. And Ricky is in a tough spot.
Yeah, but it's a full reset anyways, so you're fine with that. You have time to spare. This Short Bus team really needs to overwhelm. They're going to swap out the Cassidy, going to try to match. NRG is going to pick up the Sojourn instead, so different Tracer duel here, keeping Heroes Party on their toes. And I love the flexibility for Short Bus just to decide, look, we have to keep them guessing. We win when they don't know what we're doing, and we're doing their best to try to do that. They are playing uphill, though, against 3 ultimates, though.
Junior Rush coming out here from Smurfing, get everything started, and I mean, look at what that does to Short Bus. They just want to wait it out. NRG, though, not going to be able to wait it out. Their Water going to be able to find them. Almost got the railgun shot there onto Dinks, but again, Short Bus just falling back to not stagger themselves out.
I mean, it was going to be a dry fight, but you're almost like you have to play for all your ultimates here, and you're not getting enough of hero parties out. So Short Bus will have Rampage, they'll have Coalescence. That might be enough, but you have to get Suzu out first. You have to get past Suzu and Sound Barrier here. It's a difficult moment for Short Bus. Just it's going to be still even further uphill the more this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, Heroes Party allowing Short Bus to continue pushing this card up a little bit here. 90 seconds on the clock and about 24 meters left to go here for Short Bus to win this map. A beacon come out here from Ricky Bob coming out there from Complex. Not going to be able to find anything at Water. Popping the overclock here. They found 3 in the past, but now the Rampage coming out. They're going to be counted out there by the beat. The Pulse Bomb going to get stuck on there, but not be able to find anyone because of that beat. But Bovendo going in with this Coalescence is going to be able to find one, but the cart is still a thing that is moving here. You see the touch come out there from Heroes Party, but it's going to be NRG finding Galaxy the DMAC right there. And once Smurfing and Complex fall to the earth, it will be Short Bus going up 2-0 in the series.
I mean, they had to earn it. To the credit of Heroes Party, it wasn't an easy role that maybe Short Bus thought it was going to be. They had to earn it. That last point, it cost them 2 or 3 fights. They knew they had to play for such longer, just an overwhelming ult win. That was all it was they just happened to get to a point where they won more they had more ults in the bank, threw it all at the wall and just said, sure, this is how we're going to win. We're not, no shame in that. You get a Moya Coalescence, you get a Sound Barrier, you get Rampage, you know it's going to get cleansed, but the more utility you force out and the more value you get out of yours, yeah, a good read from Short Bus.
And let's just talk about Short Bus here for a moment. I mean, in both the second rounds of these first 2 maps, they have shown us a surprise pick. Yeah. We saw the Rhine on Lijiang Tower, and then the Widowmaker. And I mean, yeah, those are off-the-wall picks. The Widowmaker, you could see making a little bit of sense, but Ryan was a very, very interesting pick because everyone's kind of saying the same thing about Ryan. He's in a terrible spot here, but they made it work, and they made it look like Ryan is one of the strongest tanks in the game.
Well, that's the surprise factor, right? It doesn't matter, if you, it's almost like the one trick fallacy, right? If you are a one trick good enough to do XYZ in a meta where XYZ is not meta, nobody's playing it, nobody's practicing it, you can look phenomenal. It's why a lot of those players who get, who find success playing, one particular hero or a lesser played hero work out in their favor. And in this case, it was playing the Widow into a rush comp, because most players aren't playing Widows into rush comps. You're not really working on that. You're always just worried about the full 5 running at you, as opposed to the full 5 coming from one direction while the crossfire of the Widow coming up the other one. I mean, we questioned a lot of this flexibility. Like, that was kind of the name of the overarching story, for at least for you and I going into this, was the flexibility of these teams. And it seems like Short Bus just continues to pull more and more out of their bag of tricks that the Heroes Party just doesn't have answers to.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to give these teams a little bit of a break right here and come back with map number 3 of this grand final series.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Good morning, noon, night, or evening. It's CGL Lowlights, episode 2. Today we're going to be covering... Oh, it's Team 1 and Team 2 on the overlay this time. Today we're going to be covering Team Hex versus Ball Mafia, but it doesn't look like we've put their names into the overlay, so we're just Team 1 and Team 2, which is not helpful. Ball Mafia starting off in red. Antarctic Peninsula is a bit of a rare pick for a team that wants to play Wrecking Ball. You know, I could have possibly figured out without going through a team rosters that maybe the team that's playing Wrecking Ball could have been assumed to be Ball Mafia. I am, however, not an intelligent man. Oh my goodness, look at this. What a beautiful pass here on Mick Rommel. Grab him in with the knife. Bam, second from Agapito. You're coming over here, baby. It does cause the dynamite to miss, unfortunately. Is this gonna be a coach gun kill? Ah, this is the... I can't be bothered to aim at this particular kill. That is essentially the coach gun kill. Wow. Mick takes so many boops here. I just want to watch him get absolutely blasted around. The Overwatch 1 tank experience. Now for Sojourns. No, please don't let Mick... Oh, no. Almost allowed to burn to death and having to use the recall. Guys, come on. My comms, my awareness. Wait, what even hits you here? You get hit by something else. Are you... Oh, I see. You're in LOS of the Ash as well. That's so sad. Anime fight. Oh, no. One shotgun to end them all. Oh, yeah. This seems to be a poorly considered fight. Wait for 1v3 on the point while all of this is happening. Me when I wonder where the entire team has gone. Over here, of course. Ellie's just respawned. The Bob would be waiting around the other side. Wait, does Bob give the healing trauma debuff because he's a DPS? Oh, he might do. Not that it's relevant as there's no healers around, but science demands to know. Ah, speculative Bob demands a speculative pulse bomb. Oh, no. Okay, look at that. Look at the maneuver from Aero. But one good movement tech deserves another. It's time to fill up the Mercy's vision with Moira. Wait, can you body block the flight here? Well, you body blocked enough. That's quite cruel, actually. You have to just go to Rommel. You don't want to go to Rommel. Oh, no. Oh, no. They're too far away. We were uncoordinated in our push. Protecting. Oh. I mean, you really wanted to go to the enemy trace. Oh, they're so far away. Damn. Wait, Agapito's a bit of a warrior. Oh, never mind. Warrior down. Oh. You've made a bunch of fucky wuckies here. To begin with, there's been nothing to force out their Suzu. And also, there's no real reason for you to fight in this Kitsune rush. And yet here we are, attempting to fight in the Kitsune Rush. Unless somehow Battlebox manages to miss the Suzu again. Which, surely they won't. Ah, the preemptive Suzu does mean the arrow gets hit. It's only 48% though, not the end of the world here for Bull Mafia. Mafia. You can tell that I'm British. In the map.
All right, welcome back everyone from that break right there. Short Bus, one map win away from sweeping the grand finals here in our mid-season tournament. Soav, I mean, we talked about the flexibility for Heroes Party coming into the series here, but it's really been Short Bus that has been showing us a lot more flexibility.
I mean, Short Bus has been the final boss for this party. It really does seem when you look at, how these maps have gone. Short Bus taking the first map to 2-0, and Short Bus stealing that win after a bit of a C9, 3-2. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you look at, we've talked about it, and it's hard not to emphasize it, but not just the flexibility, but the confidence of these players on Short Bus team. Like, they are not sweating anything. They fully understand what they need to do, and if you are the coach for Short Bus, you gotta just be you're cruising. You're sitting back and you just know it's time to cash in those scrim bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me and you were talking about it during the break right here. I mean, normally when you talk about Short Bus, you talk about a couple players, Nekrais and Akaza are two that I have heard nothing but great things about. We haven't seen them at all, and this team is still firing on all cylinders here. This Heroes Party team, though, I mean, they've been able to kind of fight through it here a little bit. This hasn't been an easy 2-0 for Short Bus, but what do they necessarily need to do here to kind of flip the momentum in their favor?
I think they need to change it up a little bit more. I think the ideas and the times they've looked the best, and I hate to keep harping on it because I feel like they know this too, is the second water gets available to just click those heads, is the second they look like a dominant team. Water finds an opening pick on Sojourner, on Cassidy, and then it just dominoes from there. And I think it's kind of an all-in at this point. You just have to continue to, send the diva to buy the space, get Water those angles where they should just be able to go uncontested. The dives haven't necessarily been falling onto them. So if you can just put Water in a position to kind of capitalize on their target calling, they can maybe get themselves in and keep it alive for our we're on Flashpoint. I was thinking, oh, we're going to like escort. No, it's Flashpoint. I'm sorry.
Yeah, speaking of our Flashpoint map here, to the shock of no one, it's going to be Saravasa here, Soav. And I mean, this is the map we normally see here. New Junk City is there. Not a lot
it exists.
Of normally pick it. Yeah, it exists. But heading into Saravasa here, what do you normally expect here? I mean, I would say the Junker Queen is a must here, but throughout this tournament and all the different tiers, I don't necessarily see the Junker Queen here a lot.
No, you have just enough kind of flexibility and high grounds that you can get away with these dive comps. So if I'm Heroes Party, I'm picking this, like you said, mostly because it's comfort and mostly because, truth be told, if I'm thinking about this, look, I saw the Rhine comp. I don't want that back out. I don't want that in my life. I want to try to force them to play the dive again. I feel like I can maybe take that. And Heroes Party, I love this. You know what? This is a great little anti-dive complex on their preferred hero, Orisa. I do think that, like, at this point, you know what? You've got nothing to lose here, and you're already going to come out with a few extra map rounds when, like, even in a second place. You might as well just commit into something and try to match them a little bit more by bringing in Honey to match on the Moira Short Bus. I mean, we were wondering if Smurfx was going to bring out the Maga, and it's going to be the Maga rush here. We're going to see the Maga brawl. Just try to get an isolation and just try to do that. And, now that... But the Orisa, though. The Orisa is so immobile versus the Short Bus team, so protecting the Orisa just has to come at all costs now.
Yeah, and this is the same comp they came out with in their semifinal game, and it looked great for them there. If this is May, though, for NRG, is going to be the thing that really makes this Malgo have a law about it because of that ice wall right now. And you're seeing what Heroes Party, I mean, they don't necessarily want to engage, but it's going to be Smurfy X says, the engagement's going to come from myself here. No cap's going to come just yet, but it'll actually be Honey finding Smurfy X out here. Energy has to icebox to keep themselves alive, but everything going Heroes Party way right now. That aggression from Short Bus comes back to bite them.
Yeah. The one thing about Maga is that you don't have necessarily a ton of escapes, and now that oh no, where are we going? We rouletted onto Ramatra, and yeah, now that you have an escape button, this is a much better look. It's still a little bit, it's still your rush comp, but you can still isolate. You're trading the Mei for the stopping power in the Ramatra to try to catch this Orisa out. But Heroes Party, this looks like their comp that they want to be playing. This looks like they know exactly where they prefer to be. So getting this Orisa killed is going to be difficult.
And Diggs was lurking around there in the backline for a moment, eventually gets pressured out there, but now, I mean, Short Bus trying to take this point right back, going to force Heroes Party to play it right here. Ricky going to be able to get themselves back to safety right there, but the entirety of this DPS line there for Short Bus, incredibly low. Honey getting this Coalescence incredibly fast, going to use it here early, trying just to focus it all into damage. Pulse Bomb can come out there now, the Coalescence from Bendo coming out here to try to keep Smurfy X alive, but they're not going to be able to keep up their Tracer. Complex now going to throw in the Terror Surge, finds Smurfy X there, and now you talked about smurfing, just being able to click heads here, going to be able to do so much.
I mean, that wasn't who I was thinking of, but Smurfing picking up the Sojourn really makes a bit of a statement. Not that there was a lot of bad play from our previous Sojourns, but Smurfing absolutely, that's the teamwork we wanted, right? The pull and shoot from Heroes Party's comp is effective. They'll be rewarded with Sound Barrier, and that's their only thing going into this. They'll have it, hopefully, and save it for this Death Blossom, because they will be behind. They will get there in time for positioning, but they have to still get there and live long enough to pass this deadly ult.
Beat coming out here from Ricky, get everything started. This Tracer duel still going on in the backline here as the beat comes out here from Easton. We'll hit on to everyone right there, but it will be the Tracer duel going the way of Galaxy. The Death Blossom coming out.
Oh, Ajax.
They will find 2, they will find 3, and that's a certified CGL Ajax if I've ever seen one myself right there. But still, through all that, it's going to be Short Bus coming out on top.
Oh, that's tragic, because if Easton had hit that, it would have probably saved the day, and he would have looked the hero. Unfortunately, he looks the clown with this, and at the worst timing. Short Bus now coming into an Annihilation with a Pulse Bomb on their board. Nothing in the way of it. There's no world this Coalescence powers them through it, so Short Bus primed to hold this.
Yeah, right now, I mean, this Annihilation is going to be the thing that is going to be big here. Pulse Bomb going to come out from Energy early, not going to be able to find anyone. Coalescence now from Honey, going to be able to help Complex find Dinks. You see Complex just going in. 2 kills going the way of the party. Now make it 3. It looks like they're going to be able to retake the point here, but Short Bus just trying to stall it out for a little bit.
I mean, shout out to Galaxy for patrolling these outer limits and just knowing that Short Bus have to play the comp, as a tight-knit ball. So, I mean, Galaxy really coming to life here. Oh, finds Energy really low. Is going to be able to push the issue a little bit more. And, that's free information as well. Short Bus go into this with an Annihilation, but it's still very easily stopped. Again, with Galaxy controlling and creating these, sight lines, these different crossfires, they could still hold this out.
Absolutely, but now Complex, they use a Terror Surge here early. Galaxy going to be able to find NRG here. Now they have their sights set on to Ricky. The Annihilation and the Coalescence coming out here. Going to be able to find one with that Annihilation so far. The Coalescence going to be able to find Complex, and now again, if you're Heroes Party, the tables have turned. You're just going to try to stall at this point out as long as you can, but Galaxy just decides to fall back with their team.
It makes the most sense. Annihilation came out, and that was their biggest win con. They got the value they wanted out of it, so... Let's just go to the next one. Short Bus did manage to take control of the lead here, and it's going to push it to last fight. But we're in the neutral. Galaxy's Pulse Bomb is the difference maker here, as Energy has given up the Tracer fight.
And Smurfing gets taken out here early, and look what that does here to Heroes Party. They're just backing up. They're going to concede this point to Short Bus and tie up the map.
It was the right call. I mean, the approach, you thought maybe you could get there in time, but it ended up being huge. If they can punish Smurfix here, though, they definitely secure the first capture on the next point, but it looks like he'll get out in time. Never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. I think they got very lucky with where this next point was, being the one right next to this point. So they just rotated back and then threw towards point, and were able to take Smurfy X from behind.
I mean, it was a great read. That gives them so much time to just get the cap for free and then come in. And Galaxy now playing on the outer edges again. Just going to be able to feed them the information. They'll have Coalescence, Sound Barrier, 4 ultimates in the bag. I mean, there's no Sound Barrier across from them, no Annihilation. They just need to not overcommit. They should be able to hold this point.
And they're going to use
I'm sorry.
to cap point
I'm sorry, what?
Gonna be able to find Easton. The Death Blossom finds 2 right there. Bobendo
No
shuts
way.
down Complex. And the shortest cap I've ever seen of a Flashpoint map happens right there.
I mean, Dinks just... That was straight in front of everybody. Nobody was looking for Dinks. Nobody had their eyes on the Reaper, and you have to know it's there. So, great read from Short Push just to catch him out. Galaxy finds Dinks hiding in the corner, but gets punished for it.
No. Oh, that kind of ruins his entire fight because they were so hoping on Galaxy to be there. You lose Smurfing as well, and now, I mean, with Short Push playing so far up and investing the Coalescence here, you're going to be so down on this point.
I mean, recall, let's jump back a couple Max in History decks. Short Bus ran a similar comp. They know that this is what they like to play, especially on a flat map like Saravasa. I mean, it's 4 ultimates for Heroes Party. I kind of almost feel like it's just get a full 5s, throw everything at the wall because you don't want this. You can't let this point fall. Energy, no. You can't let them. No shot.
Beacon come out to keep themselves alive. Complex gonna use the Terror Surge to get everything going here. Pulse Bomb, though, will find someone for the first time this entire series, it feels like, but NRG gonna be able to find Honey there. Heroes Party finally going to point right now, but it looks like NRG is gonna try to get Honey coming out spawn.
All right, it's bold. We'll see if it pays off, but
What is this doing?
Sure. I mean, it was spent. Let's be real. Heroes Party spent everything to play that, and with Ricky's Sound Barrier plus Murphix's Annihilation, there's nothing to stop this. This is inevitable.
And right now, Short Bus getting back here on point. Here comes the overclock from Smurfing. Beacon be used to counter it out here. Smurfy still holding on to that Annihilation right now as they're about halfway. Now 75% of the way to capping the point. They do retake the point.
They don't even need to commit it.
No one falling just yet. But now, here comes the Annihilation. He's going to be able to take care of Complex right there and just force the rest of the party back right now as Dinks is just going to be able to find 2. And now it just looks like Short Bus is going to be able to clean up this point.
Heroes Party is in the right spot. They just need to make a few adaptations because right now there's not enough counterplay for when they get rushed on. Dinks is just a free feasting because Galaxy's off, patrolling the edges and trying to find value, but Smurfing, can't necessarily hold down the rest of the team, and Complex will match on the Ramatra. It's probably your best spot going into this fourth and possibly final one. But, I mean, Honey has to find value, has to make some magic here with this Coalescence because they don't have control of the point here. It's their only shot, and they have to move aggressively.
Yeah, but nice disrupting shot there. But Galaxy, that's a great pick to get everything started here for Heroes Party. But now the tables are going to be turning as Heroes Party goes to the point while Short Bus goes up to the high ground here. Coalescence coming out here from both Moira's right now, as you saw Galaxy lurking there, but it's going to be Ricky finding Smurf, and Galaxy does have the Pulse Bomb ready to go here. Looking like they're not going to be able to invest. They do get the invest and find Dinks, who popped that Death Blossom there. A huge way to counter out that all with one of your own. Your point still not capped, but Galaxy picking up a second one there, but NRG picks up 2 of their own on the Cowboy, and now Complex in a very, very bad spot here.
Ooh. Oh man, that hurts because everything was going right for Heroes Party there, but Short Bus, they almost just decided we didn't want to lose this in a lot of ways. Like Energy just kind of swapped over to this Cassidy, kind of went uncontested, and were able to just turn this fight. It's final point. The kind of good thing for Heroes Party, they are leading in Sound Barrier, and you did get a pick. You didn't get picked, but Smurfing dies first again.
And then you lose Honey, Easton. You're about to lose Complex. Galaxy gonna try to blink themselves out of this one here, but might get caught.
No, I mean, they know to get out. Short Bus holding on to now 2 of the most strongest. I mean, they have Annihilation, they have Sound Barrier. It's almost matched. Like NRG's High Noon isn't really gonna find damage, so I'm watching for Galaxy. If anybody's gonna be the hero here, it's Galaxy.
High Noon coming out, not going to be able to find them right there. Pulse Bomb, though, going to be able to get NRG, even without the second Annihilation, though, from Smurfy, and Complex being invested into this fight right now. But every kill is going the way of Heroes Party here. They're going to be able to get the point flip, just someone has to get the retake started.
There we go, the Tracer's on it, yeah. I mean, you knew that everything was coming out there, and Galaxies just had more impact on the Pulse Bomb. So this leaves Smurfing now with the only ult on board, and Smurfing was clicking some heads. Smurfing has the chance to be the hero now and when they need him. So, again, protect Smurfing, get them in a position and hold this high ground for the rails, and they can maybe win this out and hold it a little longer.
And right now, Short Bus gonna start capping the point here a little bit. NRG gets incredibly low, but gonna be using that roll and all the healing there from their supports to get them out of this one. Coalescence now coming out here, or no, the Overclock coming out here from Smurfing, but it's gonna be NRG finding Complex. Smurfing needs to find someone here just to even the playing field, but they're not gonna be able to. However, Galaxy is starting to become red hot, fighting Smurfy X here, and that will force Short Bus to fall back for a brief moment.
This is the same situation we saw Short Bus in a map ago, right? We just play for ultimates and we win here. If Amendo has ultimate, Dinks is coming into a Death Blossom. There's nothing to stop it. If they find a value with either of those ults, it's over.
Pulse Bomb comes out there from Galaxy. Not going to be able to
Great
find
read.
anyone, but Smurfing does find Dinks here. Honey does have that Coalescence ready to go here, and they're going to be investing it here, trying to keep their team alive. Actually, no, they're going to be focusing on damaging everyone for Short Bus right here, but Energy going to be able to shut down Galaxy. Honey has to fade out of that one to make sure they keep themselves alive here. Energy popping the high.
Oh, no.
Again! No! And on that C9, Short Bus will be your mid-season tournament champions here with a 3-0 sweep of the Heroes Party.
Dex, not like this. Come on, man. Come on. That's such a shame. You know, if you weren't, I mean, it's good to know that regardless of where you see high skill play, there will also be high skill C9s, and sometimes they cost you, you know, your mid-season finals. But I mean, Short Bus, I don't know if even look. I don't know, Dex. Like, would it even have mattered? Like, I kind of looked at the rest of that fight after the C9. Most of the advantage that Heroes Party had was almost squandered by that point. It's hard not to look at that fight and just go, probably for the best in some ways. At least Short Bus didn't have to play it out and unfortunately lose that.
I mean, here's the thing. So, I mean, yeah, you could have said it was all going Short Bus's way anyway, but we will never know because we never got to see the end of the fight.
You're right.
I mean, if Heroes Party finds a pick, everything changes there, and we could potentially have seen a 0.5 there on Saravasa. But I mean, we didn't. Yeah. And but like, here's the thing. Yeah, you talked about here. Even if Heroes Party's lost here, they still get those 3 map points here. So they're not leaving empty-handed. Short Bus, they're getting another map win or another whole series win onto their record. So now going into week 5, they're already going to be 5-0 here. I mean, we know how good of a team Short Bus is. And I feel like, if anything, this game kind of shows where everyone else kind of needs to step it up a little bit to try to shut down Short Bus here.
Oh, I 1000% agree. Like, the one thing that you can take from this, if you're Heroes Party, is that's it. There's the final boss. You've seen it. You can almost if you hunker down, you can now make this a repeat in the finals because you know what you're up against. You've seen the flexibility, and maybe you didn't see their full power. Maybe you didn't see everything. Maybe they didn't hit final form. But you still understand what you're up against and the flexibility that's there and how you need to do it. You'll take the 3 points, but I think the greater victory, like you said here, is the knowledge down the road going into finals and the second half of this season for Heroes Party. That's so much you can add and fix, and you can look back and check your weaknesses, because there were some highlight moments for Water and Galaxy on those maps. They absolutely have moments of shine. I see why they were second seed. I see why they did so well to make it this far. It's just now you've seen the final boss, and now you see what they can do to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's been the one thing I've said to any team that has lost in this mid-season tournament. Like, hey, this is not a loss on your season record. Yeah. You're still going to go into the next stage with that same record you had coming into this playoffs here. Take everything that you learned from this year as a learning opportunity. Yeah, you're not necessarily happy that you lost, but hey, you're still 4-0 if you are Heroes Party going into week 5. Now you went up against Short Bus in a great series. I mean, we have to say this. Heroes Party, they played great. They were able to win multiple fights in a row. Every map was close, but it just always seemed like when worst came to worst there, it was always Short Bus that was able just to one-up Heroes Party.
Or force them into a position where they didn't want to do. So, for both teams, a lot learned and a lot understood going into this. So, kudos to Short Bus. They continue their dominant, undefeated streak going into the second half. And condolences to Heroes Party, who, look, you lick your wounds, come back, because there is still a season ahead. And those, again, like I said, those 3 map points may make the difference between you coming up against Heroes Party early in the final season bracket, or coming up against them in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we head off here, so if there was going to be an MVP, who would you honestly give it to? Like,
I mean, is it just Smurfing? Like,
I would think Smurf.
I'm kind of partial to that. I do think Dinks played incredibly well, but like when you look at Smurfing coming on DPS and also then playing the tank role, like
Smurfy X, yeah.
I almost kind of want to give it there just because the true full flexibility across from that really is just impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to kind of lean with you right there as well. I mean, Smurfy X, they started out on that DPS on Lijiang Tower, went over to the tank, and I mean, they looked great no matter who they were playing. So yeah, I would give it to Smurfy X as well. But Soav, that will do it for us here tonight. But guys, tomorrow is going to be an action-packed day of grand finals. I believe there's either 4 or 5 scheduled for tomorrow. So it's going to be a very early day for some people and a very long day for some people here. You're not going to want to miss that. Yeah, it's going to be a very long day for an individual named Hippie and an individual named Bailey. But hey, before we go, a quick shout to everyone behind the scenes. Our producer, Hippie, our observers, Mara, Little Joe, and Poofa, and as well as Bailey on socials. They all did a great job tonight. Thank you all so much. Soab, I want to thank you for being my co-caster. It was great as always, man. We cast a great series here, as Short Bus are your mid-season NA console open tier champions. That will do it for us here at CGL. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow for all the other grand finals, and good night, y'all.
Take care.